I want to join a college team in 2 months and I need to get the Plat 4 or Gold 1. What's the best way to do it? So in today's profile review, we're going to be looking at a EU West player who is wanting to join their A team, their A uni team in tryouts, and we're basically breaking down what exactly they need to do to get to Plat 4/Gold 1, which is probably the barrier of entry to try out, but also to figure out, well, what their identity is, because right now they're playing a lot of roles and they don't really have a clear identity, which generally teams usually look for. So before we get into that profile review, however, if you're interested in getting a profile review just like this, please check out the link in the YouTube description below and you can sign up for free. Let's get into it. So currently you're Gold 4 and you want to get to Gold 1/Plat 4, and you've got a college team or a uni team that you want to try out for. So in the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to kind of break down exactly what you need to do. One, to climb in your solo queue rank, but two, to also develop a good enough champion pool so that you can join your college team. Now, the three big things we're going to be talking about today are the role you're playing or maining, your champion pool, and then how to balance solo queue, practice and climbing, as well as playing in a team or trying out for a team and getting good enough, for those tryouts. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your role. It's really hard to tell what role you're maining here. We can see jungle, there's AD carry, and then there's mid lane here. And so usually when a player wants to climb and when they want to join a team, you generally focus on one role and you zero in on that role. One, because it's the fastest way to climb. If you just choose one role, it saves you a lot of time trying to learn all these different roles and how these champions work. Two, if you're trying out for a team, I don't think they're going to want you or look at a player who can play like mid and jungle as a viable option, because they'll just take the player who mains jungle or who mains mid, because chances are they're probably a better player at that specific role. And pro/uni/college teams, you stick to one role. So it just logically doesn't make sense how you're playing at the moment. So the first thing you need to do is figure out what role you want to play. Now, is that role the role that you want to try out for the college team? Then main that role. If it's not, well, maybe you got to consider, well, okay, what are you doing to make sure you can join that college team, that uni team? Or you got to think about, well, what's more important, your solo queue rank or your uni rank? Your chances of getting into that uni team. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is your champion pool, because you are playing so many champions, and again, you're just lacking a clear solo queue identity, which translates into an unclear, sorry, I got a hair stuck in my mouth, an unclear team player identity. And so there's a lot of success here. You've got like a 64% win rate Shaco, a 92% win rate Victor, 80% win rate Amumu, 80%, 60%, 60%. There's a lot of good champions here, but in solo queue, the quickest way to climb, the easiest way to climb is just to focus on one role and main 1 to 3 champions. In your case, I think you could play 3 champions and focus on them in the jungle role. I would say is probably your best chance, but also your Victor looks pretty clean. So maybe your Victor could even be an option. Your mid lane with your LeBlanc, your Ari, and your Victor, that could also be a champion pool. But ideally, you don't want to go beyond 3 champions, because then you're going to really limit your ability to climb. Now, how do we balance solo queue gameplay and climbing with developing a broad enough or deep enough champion pool so that we can join a college team, or we won't get banned out when we play teams, they research you and they see you like a 1-trick or a 2-trick. So what I'd recommend for someone like you, you're Gold 4, you want to get to Plat 4 Gold 1, so it sounds like you're pretty serious about climbing and you want to also join your school team. So, there's a lot going on here and there's a lot of, stakes in the game and motivation for you to improve. And so the biggest thing I would say that can help you, accomplish your solo queue goals as well as satisfy that kind of team play is having 2 accounts. So I think in the interim, if tryouts are based on rank, I would suggest just focusing on this role, this account, and just climb to your highest rank. And if they don't care what role you're playing to get to that highest rank, I would say main your jungle, and then whatever the role is for tryouts, if it's mid lane, if it's jungle, whatever, just pick the role that you think you have the best chance of going for, if it's jungle or mid. But in order to climb this role, this account, if you are trying to join a team and they're saying like, you have to be at least plat 4, I'd say just main jungle, because you're going to get there probably in your next 100 or so games. It could potentially take you 200, but if you can keep that 60% win rate, you can definitely climb there. And then what I would do with that second account, so if you don't need to get a specific rank to join or try out for that team, what I would recommend is using your second account to develop your champion pool. So you have this account again for climbing, playing your most successful champions to climb to that highest rank as possible. And then you have your second account where you're learning champions. So let's say you're going to be trying out for the jungle position, and you need to practice your Amumu or your Lee Sin because you've only got 5 games on them in rank this season. That's where you'd use your second account to learn, develop, and master those champions while not affecting your solo queue rank. And it's called the 2 ranked account strategy, and it's basically the easiest way to climb, have fun, and learn and develop your champion pool at the same time. So Caitlin, those are really the big 3 things you got to focus on. I don't think your lack of consistency and macro is too much of an issue. It doesn't look like there's many problems here. I mean, you've got a 50% kill participation. You've got a pretty good KDA in your last 20. Considering you're playing multiple roles, I mean, that's a really good kill participation, so I don't think you got bad macro. You're winning laning phase when you play jungle pretty consistently. Your CS per minute is fine. Everything here is looking pretty healthy. It's just your identity, your solo queue identity that you got to focus on. Now, if you're interested in basically climbing faster, higher, and you want some one-on-one help, you want a coach to help you get there, what I would recommend is once you've watched this, booking a free call with me, and I can basically break down what a paid coaching solution would look like for you, where you want to get to in terms of your goal rank, and how you can develop yourself to be a team player, a player that can play in a college team, play in a uni team, and make sure they're not playing solo queue style, but they're actually playing as a team. We've got challenger coaches who do coach college teams at the moment, or myself, I'm more than happy to take you on as a client. So once you've watched this, if you are keen on getting some additional help for you to climb this season and for your tryouts, I would recommend definitely reaching out to me once you've watched this. Anyway, mate, cheers. Good luck on the Rift. I think you've got a lot of potential here. And yeah, message me once you've watched this.